All right, we are here with a classic pay-per-view review. We are reviewing Supercard of Honor from 2018.
Can I just jump in real quick? Yeah, we're going to do Supercard of Honor. This is a new, weirder, different style of our podcast. Because it's still going to be a podcast.
Viewing party.
Viewing party, yeah. Let's go with viewing party.
To be honest, it's a better format.
I mean, I do like watching old shit. Things I haven't seen for people I like in the last couple of years.
And I gotta admit, I got an education today, so because I'm not a Ring of Honor.
You're gonna get a lot of
aficionado, to say the least.
If you keep watching stuff with us, you're gonna get some education between the TNA stuff we watched earlier and now.
Yes, sir.
But, yes, sir. Hopefully we can make this a weekly thing. So
first, it's Legend,
Sibo,
Old School,
Albert,
A-Train.
A-Train. I prefer Old School, but it's up to you guys.
I mean, it's whatever the fuck, man. People don't watch us. I don't know.
I'm old school between the three of us. So
okay,
you're definitely old. Like we were like 2 when you guys were in high school.
Okay, yeah. one of these episodes, we got to intro him with the X Factor theme song.
Oh, we're dealing with the X Factor.
I will say one of these times it's gonna be his fucking show, and we're gonna be out of place.
Oh God, yeah, I know.
Not really. I mean, like honestly, wrestling is easy to understand if you just know how it works.
Same
thing back 30 years ago as it is today.
Yeah, but I told you what my experience with outside of.
Oh, correct. But still, wrestling is still wrestling.
Things that are new to me that are different from what you know, and things that are new to him. Well, he knows more than I do, so he would probably be there, but I wouldn't. But like you said, Supercard of Honor.
It was a fun show overall, but we first started it off with Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus, versus Chucky T.
The visual hand grenade.
Yeah,
one half of the best friends for anybody who watches AEW.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite spots in the matches when they gave their hugs. I remember that from AEW.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah. And I was half expecting to see fucking Orange Cassidy around there, but obviously I was way wrong.
That happened like
a couple years later.
Yeah,
a couple years later and 2 months into the run.
Orange Cassidy was never in Ring of Honor.
So was there a reason why there wasn't much heat in this match? Is it because these guys aren't developed yet, or?
Well, I would say going into this match, I didn't even have any idea who the fuck Chucky T was, other than the visual hand grenade going into AEW. So I really had no idea who the fuck he was, and I have no idea who the Octopus dude was.
Yeah.
And why that was a name, they didn't really explain it on commentary either.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is the Octopus gimmick is because he's such a good submission artist.
But did we see that in the match?
You did.
Kind of.
He threw some submissions in there, but the reason why you guys didn't feel that there was any heat behind it is because at this time, Chucky T was rather new to Ring of Honor. Jonathan Gresham was a returning face. He was around, I think, 2006, 2007, coming back from a while. So it's kind of just him putting his feet in the water again.
It was nice. It was nice to see Trent out there, though.
It was nice to see Trent.
He looked different than when he was. Well, because he has the beard and everything, and he didn't have his fucking trademark bandana that he has now.
But I don't know, it was a pretty good back and forth match, minus the bad dive.
The bad
Gresham.
Dive that we're gonna talk about in the next match too.
There was a couple of those. Like I said here, Gresham nearly kills himself. That's what I wrote down just so I remember that spot.
He dove over him.
Yeah, he almost killed himself.
Yeah, there was no catch.
There was no catch at all.
The whole point of a dive like that is to be caught, and he didn't get caught at all, and he threw himself in the.
So I'm wondering if Chucky T is since he's new, maybe he just was like out of place. I don't know. Maybe there's no chemistry with these two guys. I'm not sure, but.
And those moments are weird too, because you got to be in the right spot.
But one thing I did notice, with Chucky T, he did have like what I do see with him now. In the match, he played to the crowd a lot. I thought was really cool. I don't know much about Gresham, so I'm just going to take it as what
I said.
As what?
I think I said it.
Well, I don't know. He was talking about more. He left and came back.
Oh yeah.
Because he did get some pops with some of the moves that he did. And I thought it was really cool. The crowd would get into the moves that were good, but the overall heat just wasn't there.
I will say that's the theme of the night though is a crowd, and that becomes with more of independent. I kind of consider ROH more of an independent company.
They are.
But like using the crowds that go to we were literally front row, we did that. But like the crowds that go to independent shows are gonna be more.
They're more respectful.
We're gonna react.
They take the more Japanese route where they react to the big spots. They don't sit there and scream too much during the matches itself. During the entrances, they're all over that.
With the streamers and all that, especially. Yeah.
I'm gonna use it because we're gonna get later in when the bigger matches happen. But I'm gonna start now because it's the first match. We've been to ROH shows, and we're super into it.
Oh, for sure.
And we've done our WWE shows, we're just like, okay. And we just wait and wait and wait. And then there'll be moments where things happen,
Yep.
but it's like, it's not the same fucking thing.
No, in a Ring of Honor show, to me, it's way better because you never know what to expect. Like, granted, they'll tell you the match card in advance, but you can see a match card with any competitor in it, and you're like, oh, you have, let's just say, on this card, you got Chucky T and Jonathan Gresham. You're like, that match can either be really good, because you don't expect it to be really good, or it could be just really terrible.
Well, I could say, at least for me, like if we went to this show live, I would have known who neither of these people were.
And would you have gained or an appreciation for either one?
I would have thought the match was fine, except for the death spot.
It was a good way to open the card, I'll give it that, because I gave it a 6 out of 10 overall.
I'd say 6 is fine with me. In fact, I gotta ask you guys real quick. So you guys more RH savvy than I am. WWE, when they put their cards out, they try to put a match that will get people not like energized per se.
Yeah.
This match to me didn't do that. Is that a RH staple where they build up to the main event without having main event matches like in the middle of the card or the beginning of the card?
It's hit or miss, I believe.
Honestly, it is, because the last time that me and Legend here reviewed a show, the opener, I want to say it was Matt Taven and Will Ospreay.
Which would be
and that was way opposite.
Well, Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay, and Matt Taven is acceptable.
Okay, so maybe this was this card. It would happen to be these two guys, and they said open the card up and.
Well, Gresham's a workhorse. That dude, that's why they call him the Octopus. Like, that dude right now is a current tag team champion, Jay Lethal.
Gotcha.
Like,
Jay
trust
Lethal
him.
is technically
The man.
As far as ROH is concerned, their guy, because he's not leaving to go anywhere, and he is their biggest quote unquote star.
Okay.
So the match ended with a roll up by Chucky T, and Chucky T won, obviously.
That was actually my biggest surprise because, like I said, I don't really know Chucky T outside of AEW.
Yeah. Well, we all know that the roll up is the most devastating move in all of wrestling, so it's no surprise that Chucky T won with it.
At least it wasn't a heel roll up though.
Do I really have to
tights or anything?
Was that the only like true roll up finish of this show though?
Yep. Everything else was more or less clean. With
even
finishers.
Even the roll up finisher is clean, but.
Yeah, but it's not a finisher.
It's not finish.
Yeah, that was the only roll up on the whole show.
The only really fuck up ish finish is
later on in the card, but we'll talk about that.
Well, it's still the match of the night.
But let's talk the next match now. The next match was one that YouTube did not know anything about: Tomohiro Ishii versus Damien Punishment Martinez.
I told you, I saw him debut in NXT. I didn't like him in NXT. And I didn't watch his match with Balor in your house. I've had one good experience with Punishment Martinez.
I thought this match was a very physical back and forth.
Yep.
It was really good.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just have a hard time getting into certain matches. I don't know why.
Yeah. I wrote down that I really enjoyed the Martinez not selling at all in the first few minutes. He was just taking the chops and the punches and basically saying "fuck off, you can't hurt me." And very, very stiff. Exactly what you were just saying a second ago. Very, very physical. And the crowd was all about it.
Well, we'll say the same thing we said in the first match. Another almost death spot because the fucking guy completely misses dive.
Yeah, he goes over the turnbuckle and...
Martinez did do that. He also did another dive, though, which he does do.
Well, he hits the next dive, but that first dive
The next dive, I love it because that one he literally runs towards the ropes, puts his foot on the middle rope,
and
then
flips
himself over.
Which was good. I like
and for a big dude who's 7 feet tall, that's very impressive.
That's hard. It's like we were watching the AJ match where on TNA, and
AJ Styles.
There's 4 moves. He did the same move. There's 4 feet between their barricade and the and the apron.
Ultimate X with P.D. Williams
and probably Martinez's move was harder because, like you said, he's 7 foot tall or whatever he is.
Yeah, AJ's like a 5'10" fucking. He's meant to do that shit. He's not fucking 7 feet tall.
The Hurricanrana was really cool because I like the finish the near finish that it had. Referee was pretty much on the mat. I was like, ooh.
That happens a few times throughout the show too.
Yeah, a lot of near finishes, really cool. I mean, but those are what you're going to have in good matches.
I do want to bring that up.
At least one.
I do want to bring that up because we are a overall wrestling podcast. So because this is a review/podcast, the stance on the over or under uses of false finishes.
Honestly, it just
especially given my love for AEW, there is a lot of false finishes.
For me,
I just want to kind of see where you guys are at.
The times that I hate false finishes or when it's like in a match that's a pre-match, like before a main event type match.
Okay, so let's use the match we're going to talk about next.
Well, first of all,
When we get there, when we're done with this.
Martinez finishes the match with a pretty cool choke slam because he sits down when he does it.
I've never really seen anybody sit down a choke slam like that.
Yeah,
And I thought that was rather sweet.
At least a particular choke slam he did in this particular match was cool. I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, speaking of that, the choke slam was pretty awesome. I gave this match a 7 out of 10. Physicality was good.
I would go 8 because Martinez looked like a fucking boss.
But Martinez got the win, 1, 2, 3. That was a really good match.
Decisive finish. I'm cool with it. It was really
I'm gonna
cool.
agree with him because, like I said, I don't have a good standing with how I feel about Martinez at the time.
I also like the Martinez entrance because he came out in the coffin.
He did come out in the coffin, didn't he?
Well, I forgot about that.
He had the red entrance and he popped out of a coffin.
Couple years.
Is he doing that NXT or is he just walking out like in a normal entrance?
Depends on the event.
I feel like
so probably like a takeover. He'll be in a coffin.
I feel like
potentially, yeah.
If I guess I don't think it happened at the takeover event because there's no fans there with Balor, but I feel like if that match would have been with fans, it would have been Demon Balor. He would have had a fucking entrance. They would have made a bigger deal of it.
It would have made a bigger.
It would have been a little bit different than what they did.
Yeah.
And he still got over, so it works out. But,
well, that's how it works. That's what you do.
But like I said, we're going into the false finishes, so we'll go into.
Yeah, we all have strong opinions on that. So
we're gonna go into the next match because the next match is what I think is the tied second best match of the night with the main event.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Which
so
is
Adam
Page.
Next match, Adam Page and Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, this
half of the Golden Lovers.
Holy fuck.
I'm still gonna say half of the Golden Lovers every time I hear Kota Ibushi's name.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, if you couldn't I watched Adam Page on AEW. We watched the Stadium Stampede, and he looked young then, or in that match. And this is like last week, and
it's like 3 weeks, 3 years before that.
And 3 years ago or wherever, 2 years ago, he looked like I did in high school.
He looked like a stud.
We saw what you looked like 15 years or 18 years ago.
I know you did, and I look young. I don't have any of the, the
Adam Page in this.
You can look up the episode in 2002 in August.
Do it. August 5th. Go do it. I was there. Find me.
So if every single fan of AEW would have watched this particular match before the Chris Jericho title match, they might have been looking at Adam Page as a potential main eventer.
Dude, if that Chris Jericho title match would have happened after any of the stuff they've done with Adam Page since, it would be a different match.
True, but if they would have had
better because going into that All Out match, I'm like, yeah, I like Adam Page. He was cool, but I'm like, Jericho's got to win. It had to happen.
Yeah.
If they would have built Page the way they have with the Omega tag team and his character, if that Adam Page faced Jericho at All Out for the first World Championship, I would have been like, I would be okay with Page winning and he could carry the company.
Hell, even if it was this Adam Page from this particular match, that could carry the company.
Like he seemed more intense, not so.
He has the it factor. He really does. He just pops in the screen.
He's gonna be a star. It's the same
he
reason why Jungle Boy will be a star. MJF will be a star. Same.
Down the line, you're gonna see these guys headlining.
Darby Allin
or All Out, whatever.
So let's hear some of Albert's notes. He's taken some pretty good notes.
This was the best match I've seen from
before
Adam
the
Page.
match even started. I said this is going to be good, and I even said it was great afterwards. I mean, like, this is like a 9 out of 10. And the only reason I say that is because there's another missed spot.
Well, the missed spot in this match wasn't nearly as bad.
But there was 2 great spots. I think one was Ibushi hit that moonsault onto the floor.
I'd say both of them had moonsault spots onto the floor.
Yeah, and then Page had one later, so more than made up for that. The heel in the face to me was really, really good. It's the first time I really saw it, mostly because I knew who Adam Page is.
And the crowd loved Ibushi.
And the crowd was all about Ibushi. So, I mean, besides, you could tell by the entrances which one was the face, which one was the heel, and you guys let me know that Bullet Club is a heel, no matter how over
like I said,
yep,
Bullet Club will forever be a heel, whether they're cheered or not.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. But there was a few times where, like, since Ibushi was so over, that Page had a few boos there, which is good, and I enjoyed it.
You want the heel to get booed. Like I brought it
That's
up.
What they do. That's what
I brought
they do.
it up, and it bothers me because I brought it up because it's the same issue I talked about when it happened. You talked about the moonsault spots. I don't like Page's moonsault spot because he does it every match.
I personally do because it shows how athletic he is.
I like it.
It's gonna hurt his body in the long run, though.
That's not even why I'm talking about. I think it diminishes the spot.
Yeah, and there's times where I bring up the moonsault top rope with like 5 people are waiting for
When
the person.
when Ibushi did his, that was cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about Ibushi, and that's fine. But I watched Hangman Page, and he's not even Hangman Page in this match. They don't announce him as Hangman Page. He comes out as Hangman Page, but they don't call him that. But he does the Orihara moonsault, which is what it's called.
Going back to what we were watching before Chris came over, we were watching Samoa Joe in that triple threat match with Daniels and Styles.
Which is one of the best TNA matches of all time.
And Joe had that spot where he pretty much twisted over the top rope. And you mentioned that Styles and Daniels ignored it until the last second. They're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those...
It wasn't contrived at all.
Like, we were talking, because we also watched the Stadium Stampede match, and we were talking about how, like, you watch the 6 guys, and they're sitting there, like, they were fighting, and then they stopped. And they just, hugged each other until the guy did the dive. That kind of takes you out of the moment. In the Styles, Daniels, and Joe match, like I said, I pointed it out because like that's how I want to see that done. Yeah. They were punching, and like a second before it happened, like, oh shit.
Joe just runs him over.
And he fucking flipped over. Like that's how I want to see that spot done. It's more of a flow, and that's why I think that match works. So many of those spots, like I said, the criticism of that match is the spot fest. But they sell the spots, they hit the spots, they don't wait for the spots. This is why the match works.
And I'm glad Ibushi went over because like he really was like getting his ass kicked. He had his spots. He had his baby face. He has the baby face look.
Yep.
And he fought from underneath. Page, I hit him. Is it called the buckshot lariat here? I didn't know.
The buckshot lariat is what it's called. Yes.
He did the buckshot. Yes.
Is it called that in ROH?
Yes.
Okay.
He also hit what is that was this match, right? They hit what is Statlander's finisher in AEW.
Yep. He also hit his rite of passage.
Rite of passage, okay.
Rite of passage is now Deadeye, isn't it?
Yes.
And so I loved how Bushi fought from underneath, and the babyface should always win like that if he's going to win it all.
But none of you guys have mentioned the actual scariest looking spot in the whole fucking match.
I feel like
I forgot what it was. That's why I didn't mention it. I figured you might bring it up.
So there's the whole spot where Paige gets on the guardrail.
Oh, fuck.
And Ibushi goes and German
and
suplexes him off of it.
And it looks like he fucking dies because it's when Paige is on it, and you actually saw it coming before it even happened, and then Ibushi jumps up there and flips him.
Well, we thought it was going to be a moonsault like, off of the guardrail.
And it looks in the initial reaction that fucking Paige lands horribly.
Yeah, then we watch it like that.
Well, you watch the replay, he lands on the shoulder, and it's great. But, like, you watch it initially, and you're like, shit.
Oh, I'm done. Within my notes, I said third straight match with a good spot. I meant to say a bad spot.
No, that was... The stupid thing is that wasn't a bad spot.
It just looked like it was bad in real time, but the replay showed it
well, like
the other way.
The first 2 matches had bad spots, and we covered that, because they literally missed.
Yeah,
this was not a bad spot. This is a really well-executed spot that looked bad.
That's very true, and
which is why I put it up there as a tie for my second best match of the night.
Just like Albert said, he gave it a 9 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10 as well.
My issue with it is my experience with Hangman outside of AEW, my experience with Ibushi in general outside of the Golden Lovers, which they did put in there. He went for the Golden Trigger.
He actually hit it.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool move. I thought it was a really cool move to grab both hands and
like
put his knee in your face.
You saw it when they did it at Revolution when the Young Bucks did it to Kenny.
I don't remember.
When the Young Bucks did it to Kenny, they did it as a tag team that they're supposed to do. Each one has an arm and they pull it in. They both knee. But and Kenny said "fuck that" and kicked out.
But seeing Paige in 2018, I think it's going to help me look at him a little bit more favorable, even more so than he already does now in 2020.
You got to realize he was teaching too at this point.
Yeah, he's a fucking teacher.
He didn't stop teaching until he was full time.
Any more thoughts on the match?
I mean, I just thought it was a great match overall. Ibushi showed, a lot of promise, and
it makes you want to watch a little bit more of those Japanese guys from New Japan, though.
And of course, Adam Page. I knew he was always good, but this gives you guys a better chance to see what he was like beforehand.
Yep.
So that's all I gotta say. Like, the match is damn impressive. Now we're gonna sink a little lower in this card.
It was your second time watching.
We're gonna what?
We're gonna sink a little lower in this card now.
For a little bit.
It's going to be the ROH Women's title match. Kelly Klein and Sumi Sakai.
I feel bad because I almost feel like everything I'm about to say about the ROH Women's title match right now, this is the first Women's Championship match, right?
Correct.
I feel like my criticisms of this are going to be my same criticisms I had of the AEW Women's division
It wasn't great. I'll straight up admit that. It
And I
wasn't a
like
great
Kelly
match.
Klein. And
Kelly Klein's great.
And I followed what happened with why she's no longer with ROH too.
Who's
Yep.
that?
Kelly Klein.
Gotcha.
She had a falling out.
So she had a falling out, and they let her contract expire while she was
Yeah,
champion.
she was champ. And like this is right, like almost like because she does not win this match, but she does become champion later on, and she literally was champion at the time that her contract expired, and then
So they
happened.
never even had a women's title match at the pay-per-view, and they could have easily made her defend the women's title and lose it on the pay-per-view before her contract expired. They didn't. They just let it expire.
Which
So now what they
me-
did is they created their own another women's championship, and they're
Which-
having a tournament to determine who's the champion.
Is that happening now?
well, nothing's
it will
happening
once
now.
everything comes back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The most current event is.
It will happen.
Once everything comes back from the COVID-19 pandemic, Ring of Honor has
Which
two
is
tournaments that they're going to hold. One
We-
for the women's title and one for the ROH Pure title,
Because they're bringing the Pure title back, which I like.
which is good.
But we can also clarify now, because you brought that up, the COVID-19 thing. A big reason why we haven't been podcasting or posting anything. We
Yeah,
haven't-
first time I've seen you guys since before March.
We've had the
This is the first time you've seen.
Maybe since the Rumble.
No, it was Revolution. The
Oh.
night after Revolution, you guys came over and we watched it.
Yeah, we haven't been able to
Was it February?
podcast.
February 29th.
We had the
Because
COVID-19
I watched it
pandemic.
and then you guys came over and watched it
Oh,
again.
that's right. That's right. We watched NASCAR for an hour. before
We
you-
did that too.
We had the pandemic where we weren't able to see more than 5 people on a place.
And we literally have to get together for this to be a thing. Because we got to watch it. Because we do everything off the top right.
Together.
We watched this, like right now, we watched this show an hour ago.
Yeah.
Finished it. And we're doing the show now.
And we watch the stuff together, and the thing is we like doing this as a group anyways, because I could sit there and be like, hey guys, watch this event and let's meet up. But it's just not as fun.
Well, like we sat and talked about what we were going to talk about before. Like we talked about the matches while the matches were happening. We had
Exactly. You get to add your little commentaries to it. You don't get to do that when you're sitting at home alone watching something.
Yeah, I'm not going to write down what made me laugh.
Well,
or what
and
jokes I'm
also-
thinking in my head and write
and-
them down because it won't be as
for
as in the moment.
and particularly for this show, me or you couldn't fucking watch the show if he didn't fucking bring it.
Hey, fair enough. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, a lot of these shows
I own some shows. He owns some shows. You don't own shit.
I don't own shit.
I own all these shows.
I own my
that-
passion. That's all I got.
Which I appreciate. Which way?
I own all these shows on DVD, guys. So like I'm spending the money.
Dude,
and
I don't
bringing
want to
them
fuck.
over.
I don't want to fucking talk about how you own everything for the last 20. Like, I'm just gonna say everything for the last 20 years. Or you're working on it at least.
That's crazy.
Working on it.
At least
No.
for TNA and WWE, you do.
It's gonna be a solid collection when it's finally fucking done.
When you get done with the next fucking.
You're gonna have an
200.
attic, and it's gonna be it's gonna be like prepared like a regular room.
You know how cool it's
And,
gonna
like-
be when you guys come over
No,
and it's
yeah.
gonna be the fucking
It'll be like-
wrestling
it'll be
wall.
like Jim Cornette's
You
attic.
think it's bad that I have this fucking like my fucking weird like pyramid of pump Funko Pops over here? This motherfucker's gonna have a fucking. It's not even gonna be a wall. It's gonna be like a whole. He's gonna get a 2-bedroom apartment, and one bedroom's just gonna be fucking wrestling DVDs from wall to wall.
Dude, you know I love it, so I don't give a fuck.
The thing is though, is it's a passion that you and I both honestly started our friendship with.
No,
Yeah.
like I said, I told him when we first met. It was weirdly enough the first. And here's a little tangent because welcome to podcasting. And I told you this earlier.
Correct.
The first time we met, I had 2 DVDs. You had 2 DVDs.
It was
Yours
very weird.
They're a year apart, and they're both the same show.
Yeah, this
That's funny.
motherfucker had WrestleMania 20 and Vengeance 04.
Yep.
I had WrestleMania 21 and Vengeance 05.
Which
So we
which-
switched because I hadn't seen the show. You had.
Which the funniest part about it is
Oh, and then how we actually got to that point.
you had the better vengeance. I
had the-
had the better mania.
I mean, I do think I will put Angle versus Shawn Michaels up with anything.
Nah, if that Benoit doing this with the belt.
Yeah,
Bar
well,
none. Eddie
that
Guerrero in the ring
that
with him?
match is great. I think Backlash is better.
But
Hey, fair enough. I agree with you. I'll watch that match. But like, that's the moment of all moments.
That's why I don't have that moment.
But anyways, let's go
I
back
think Backlash is
a
better.
little bit. We're gonna rewind it a little bit. So Sumi Sakai and Kelly Klein.
Yeah.
Okay, we got So this
Okay.
match, you Albert.
Okay, the first
You're
thing,
on.
the
I already said what I had to say.
two
about this
things right
match.
off the bat I saw, and this may be just me, but this is the first time I saw a distinctive heel and a distinctive face. Even because Adam Page, yet he was a heel, quote unquote, but he was
Bullet Club.
But nobody booed him. He was over. Kelly Klein was a fucking heel, and she walked out like it. Mad, looked sneering into the camera, all that stuff. Sumi Sakai, bundles of energy, the upbeat music, all that stuff.
Remind you of something?
And despite the fact that they and we'll go over what I'm about to say later because I think there's two distinct booking errors in two different matches. In this match and another match that could have swapped, that'd been way better.
I think Kelly Klein should have won.
Well, they started fighting off right off the bat, and I really like if you want to fight.
They fought before the bell rang.
Right. So I was like, all right, cool, let's go. Unfortunately, it just went downhill after that.
The best moments were at the start.
Other than the ROH title being on the line, I don't know what the story was. And
that was the story, basically.
And that's not good enough. There has to be something a little bit more. I mean, I get it's the first one. And not to mention, the match didn't feel like it was even close to the main event of caliber it should be for the first time you're winning a world title, for women. Or for anybody. It lacked all heat.
Well,
it lacked all intensity. I felt like they were just going through the motions. It was not good.
I would use this as an example because this could become something that comes up. We were talking because I went through the history after Kurt Angle and Joe on TNA.
Mm-hmm.
While I was going through that history, the first TNA Knockouts Championship match came up. The similarities that could come up if we watched that show. And see if that was any different than what this was.
We might have to.
We're going to at one point.
Because we did talk about it when we were looking at it. I just don't remember what actually happened. I just know it happened in 07.
Well, let's just say this. This match, like Albert said, it honestly wasn't that great. The story behind it was both females had a semi-final match before this that were on the show right before it. And after the match that Sumi Sakai won against Tenille Dashwood / Emma.
Oh, it was nice to see
Kelly
that Emma
Klein
was
attacked.
Yeah, I agree.
Kelly
like
Klein
seeing
attacked
Emma.
Sumi Sakai. And then that was really the quote-unquote heat that it got. No. And then having all of the women outside of the ring, that was fine.
You know what my issue with this match is?
There was no real, like Albert said, going through the motions.
No, this came in 2018, right?
Yeah.
What was going on with WWE's women's division in 2018?
That was women's elimination chamber.
They were pushing their revolution for a year.
They pushed it for a few.
Yeah, they've been pushing it for years, pushing it towards what it became with the main event of WrestleMania. Whether the main event of WrestleMania lived up to the hype or not, they were putting on first evers that were far and away better than
Hell in a Cell with Charlotte and Sasha. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky were a triple threat in WrestleMania. And then in 2019, a year after that, they would main event WrestleMania with the Ronda Rousey.
Well, then there was the Elimination Chamber match with.
Oh, that's right.
Well, Alexa Bliss,
and the
Sasha,
tag titles were coming
Bailey.
I bring this up.
There was 2 Elimination Chambers, one for the tag titles, and then there was the singles one too for the Raw title.
I only bring this up because you look at this. This is 2018. This is not even 2 years ago.
They're capitalizing on what WWE was doing.
I'm just saying, it's not even 2 years ago. We're talking. This is their first ever, whatever, and we know what TNA did, so I'm not gonna bring that up. And you look at AEW did. Their women's division is working on it.
It's getting there.
Sheeta and Nyla Rose.
Britt Baker's doing great.
Britt Baker, she's hurt now, but that sucks.
Well, and they started
she can
that
still
out,
talk, so it's okay.
They started that out the bat, too, out of AEW.
But
I'm
just saying, the women's division in AEW has been rough as well. I agree. Like this, that's why I said similarities. This is a very similar match to what I think Nyla Rose and Riho was in weird ways. And I don't necessarily agree with that either, but now I like what they're doing. But I think WWE, if there's one thing they knew what they were doing for the last couple of years, they still are the king of the mountain when it comes to women's wrestling. And they always will be if the competition with matches like this or what AEW's done, even with Sheeta and the rest from Double or Nothing.
Even the structure of the match itself was confusing because like Kelly Klein looks like a fucking ass beater compared to Sakai, who was like, I'm not saying she's out of shape, but she's definitely small.
Let me know who Sakai is.
Sumi Sakai.
Sumi Sakai, the Japanese woman that was in the match.
That won the fucking match. Let me know who she is. It's the same reason why some people had a major problem with Riho winning the AEW World Title. They didn't know who the fuck she was.
Well,
See,
okay. Well,
Other than the other reason why they had a problem
yeah.
with that match.
Well, I think Kelly Klein should have won, and then Sakai chases her.
I completely agree.
Didn't they do the opposite though?
Yeah,
Because she won and then Klein won.
They made Sumi Sakai win this match, and then Kelly Klein was the chaser. And on top of that, like for this,
Making the heel chase is a weird thing.
it's very weird. And on top of that too, it's like you can compare it to AEW. The only difference in the AEW one and this one was the fact that there wasn't a huge ass size difference between the two women.
I mean,
Because
Klein definitely looked bigger.
But she wasn't
like Nyla
she
Rose
wasn't
or fucking Awesome
250
Kong
pounds versus 98 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, which is why I didn't have a problem with the Sheeta
They were
beating
about
Nyla.
even sized.
Which is why I didn't have a problem with Sheeta beating Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing. She's more of a normal size.
But I rated the match, unfortunately, 4 out of 10.
I went lower than that.
Yeah,
it was bad.
I went too.
Yeah,
I didn't like it at all.
It was bad.
I gave it a
I agree
4
with
just
everything
because
you
it was, I know what these women can do, and on top of it, it was the first title.
That's why I went 2. I know what Kelly Klein can do. And if you're trying to build a women's division, if this is your final match, like even AEW's one of Rio and Nyla Rose was better than that.
But alright.
We don't need to do that.
Sumi Sakai won.
Yep.
We're going to go up from here now, guys.
Well, everything's up from here. We're
Well,
slightly
there's one
down from the main event.
we
yeah.
got a ladder
Oh
match.
fuck yeah! There is one down.
There is a little
Except
down,
for
but-
you have a favorite from that
We
down.
we
though.
have a ladder match
You do have a favorite from that down. So we're good.
for the ROH 6-man tag team titles. SoCal
Flip,
Uncensored
flip,
versus Young
flip,
Bucks
flip,
and Flip
flip,
Gordon.
Flip.
Yeah.
Book flip.
Flip Gordon, I had a great intro to him. I enjoyed watching a dude who just knows what he's fucking. When they did those stereo moonsaults or whatever
Dude.
it was, or I'm sorry, it was stereo 720s
450s.
or 450s. His looks so smooth.
Dude.
I think he did one with Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson. One
I
was it?
think it was Nick.
All you
And-
gotta do is watch Flip versus Will Ospreay.
So that right off the bat was my favorite take from this match was Flip Gordon.
Flip is the highlight of this match.
Well,
Yeah.
and I also wrote that
Probably because
there are
he's.
some very great spots. Flip Gordon in this match, MVP.
I think. For
Absolutely.
me, I agree with everything you just said. Flip Gordon is the MVP, and I am the biggest AEW mark of this group. But I also think that's why Flip Gordon is my MVP of this match. Because everybody else in this match, I've seen do similar spots in AEW since AEW started. So I'm sitting there watching, oh yeah, I've seen that. Flip Gordon's over there like, fucking
Hold my beer.
doing shit.
One of Albert's favorite spots in the whole match was when Frankie Kazarian put a ladder on his head, whirly-bird style,
Do
started
ya?
spinning around, knocking everyone over,
And
and
then-
then here's Flip Gordon just flipping. He's like, "You're not gonna
Okay.
get me. I'm
Not
gonna
gonna
flip
get me."
again."
I'm not gonna lie, man. You saw the fucking intro package and all his flip is going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
He's bouncing back and forth.
He's doing that
on the
move with the one I don't know what you call it, but like it's like the test of strength or whatever, but with 2 hands on each on everybody's wrist or whatever, and he's trying to put him down, and he has him. He's like, nah, I don't gotta do this shit. He's bounced off his back like 4 times.
Yeah, he's doing the
It's-
weird like kip up bounce,
Yeah, it's
but it's
really
just going
cool.
back and forth off.
And
the-
that's
Yeah.
that's
And
a
that's
thing
just
that
in
he
the intro
constantly
package.
does.
Yeah. All right, so I thought obviously it was a spot fest, but a spot fest I can get behind. I'm not the biggest spot fest fan for the sake of spot fest, but this match is exactly what it should have been. It's a ladder match.
It's the same reason why that triple threat worked that we watched.
Yeah, but like everyone's in the ring, it's going to be a spot fest. It's like watching Money in the Bank ladder matches, and I love watching those because it's exactly what it should be. It's a spot fest.
Yep.
It's not going to be like friggin' organized tag team wrestling
You
with
really got to think about it.
with tags in and out and the hot tags and stuff like that.
It's the same reason why I have an issue with why I really like this match. Same reason why I'm going to bring up Double or Nothing. People had issues with the casino ladder match.
Yeah,
I was like, there's 9 fucking people in this match. They're
Yeah.
gonna do spots,
it's going to be
and somebody's gonna win. That's gonna be the
yeah.
fucking match.
Everyone's going to get their chance to shine, and everyone in this match had a chance to shine. Everybody for one reason or another. My favorite spot beyond what you said about the kip ups was when I think it was the Young Bucks put up a ladder on the rope. I think Nick Jackson held it up, and I think Matt Jackson did a moonsault.
No, dude,
No,
when
that,
they-
was,
that was
that was Flip Gordon.
Well,
that,
Flip Gordon
that
did-
when they
did
flip-
that
when
did
they
a
flip
720
onto the guy.
onto it.
No.
Okay, different moment.
This was in the ring.
Yeah, the one where he's in the corner and
No, it wasn't the corner. It was
Frankie Kazarian's
No, he's talking about something else.
So turnbuckle. The ladder's like this.
Oh, okay. You're talking to Swanton. That was Jackson's.
And he did the fuck
The one you're talking about is also a great moment.
And so one Buck held it up. I don't know which one did.
Balding Buck or.
And Kaz took the bump, and I thought it was really cool.
Okay, that was the Jacksons.
The one he's talking about is also a great moment because, like I said, Flip's the highlight.
Yeah.
Flip Gordon doing the
when they did the 720 springboard or whatever the fuck.
He did the 720 off the ladder onto Christopher Daniels, who was laying on a fucking ladder propped in the corner.
Yeah.
On the bottom rope.
I could say, like, I don't know if Flip was truly the MVP of this match, but because of my lack of knowledge on Flip and knowing what Flip can do without seeing it and knowing the other 5 guys.
See, Flip was the MVP of this match because of everything that he did. Because he made it more impressive.
He did a lot, but he also did a lot that I didn't know about.
Another one of my favorite spots was when I think the Bucks had, I don't remember who they had it, but he had like a submission hold on both ends of a guy.
When they're on the ladder?
Yeah, and then I think Christopher Daniels comes in with a ladder and starts fucking just hitting all 3.
Yeah, it was Frankie Kazarian that they had the hold too, because one had a sharpshooter.
They did a very similar.
And like a crossface, maybe?
And the other one had a crossface through a ladder, and Daniels picks up another ladder and goes, "Fuck you!"
They did a very similar spot with the Lucha Brothers.
There were so many times in this match, and this is what I love about this match mostly, is that it wasn't like. Sometimes you see a ladder match where a guy's like climbing a ladder to get the belt, and he won't notice a guy on a turnbuckle, and he won't stop and go take care of it. This happens so many times where like Christopher Daniels was like, I'm not gonna friggin' waste my time. I'm getting a ladder. Boom, and then boom, F you guys. We're gonna first beat your asses, and then they eventually won with I think Christopher Daniels got the belt.
Christopher Daniels did grab the belt, so SoCal Uncensored won.
It was for the 6-man tag.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did not say that.
I did.
Yeah. You did? No.
One of my favorite spots, though, is you guys saying, what the fuck, when the red balloons come up.
Oh, we don't even need to talk about the Kingdom's involvement in this match.
I did want to know who they are, because I don't know if I got a good answer. Who is that group?
So the Kingdom are a group of heels.
At that point.
At that point, they were a group of heels. It was TK O'Ryan, Vinny Marcellia, who was the one that was wearing the Michael Myers mask as a knee pad, and Matt Taven, who was the leader of the 3.
Gotcha.
And Matt Taven's the only one I know.
And what was it? Go ahead.
So their feud was with Ring of Honor management because they were under a conspiracy theory. Matt Taven should have been the quote-unquote real world champion. They kept screwing him out of championship matches. So pretty much he was just trying to get back at management. So they stole the 6-man tag team titles.
Well, we know how that works.
Yeah, but they really didn't.
They stole them at the end, though. Daniels grabbed the belts, and then they
won
fucking
the match.
took them and ran.
Yeah. They won the match and then got hijacked.
And then Daniels gets in the ring and says, Matt Taven, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I guess maybe we're going to see the first 6-man triple threat match down the road in ROH.
But would it be the first 6-man?
Did that ever happen?
9-man?
9-man?
The first triple threat 6-man tag team title match.
Any chance that happened?
Potentially, yes.
I guess.
I don't know when we'll see it.
I guess maybe it never happened. I mean, it's probably just too many guys in the ring.
I believe it did happen. I don't remember, though. I'm not 100% positive.
Maybe one of the shows he doesn't own yet.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
No, I do own it. If it happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you own everything that's happened.
I just don't remember if it happened.
You're just trying to recover the fucking last 10 years.
Any spot you like Legend?
I just like Flip, dude.
Yeah.
You know how many times I just went Flip? Flip.
We were like we were making all kinds of flip mocks, flip puns.
All I was doing was just clapping the flip, like flip, flip.
The dude is impressive as fuck. Like,
book flip.
And
started talking about BTE for a second.
And who?
Being the Elite.
Oh, Elite.
The intro to Being the Elite, where it's like book flip, and he just fucking like.
I want to say that he's
because actually, I want to be clear. I said the booking flip thing. They did the book flip thing, and it pops up. They also have Marty Scurll, we'll talk about later, missing the fucking roller coaster ride during their intro because he's no longer on Being the Elite either.
Oh, yeah, okay, you have to bring that up later. I'm not sure if I saw that.
It's just the intro. It's the intro package to Being the Elite, which I did not show you when I showed you the one BTE clip.
Yeah, so the this match was really cool. The crowd was definitely into it 100%. which is going to lead to the next match, which is fun for me, but
It's fun for you because you made it fun for you.
Plus,
I
hey,
made it fun for
There's
me.
nothing
It needed it.
fun
Nothing
about it,
Yeah.
but you made it fun.
Plus,
Definitely.
hey, Flip Gordon, the only wrestler billed from Montana.
Ever in the country or ever
Like,
in the
one
What's
of
in
world?
Montana?
He's the only wrestler that they claim that's
That he
ever
actually
been from the great
does-
state of Montana.
That does his entrance and says he's from Montana.
That's
I
a bit
thought
trivia.
that was a fun note.
That was trivia.
But let's go. We're on a little bit of a downward spiral again.
Oh, I don't know, man. This guy over here's got notes. He's gonna talk about
No,
how
this
much
match-
he loves.
I got memories.
We had a triple threat match. We had Luke and PJ Hawks
Whoever the fuck they are.
versus the Motor City Machine Guns
Disappointing that they're in this match.
versus the Bouncers, Brian Malones and the Beer City Bruiser.
It's always.
Moonsault.
It's always.
Actually, wait, did we give ratings to the last match?
No, we did not.
I'm giving it. I don't think it was better than Paige and Ibushi.
I think
so I'm going
for
8
a-
out of 10.
I
think
gave
for
it
a-
an 8 out of 10 as well.
For a ladder match, it's an 8 out of 10. I wouldn't put it up there with fucking the Bucks and the Lucha Brothers from All Out, which
Alright,
is fucking
Bouncers,
my favorite ladder match.
Machine Guns, Luke and PJ Hawks.
Right off the bat, I was like, one of these fat guys is going to do a moonsault. It had to happen, right? I mean, they did some sentons. They were a little bit. They
You were
more-
so disappointed when you
They-
thought he was gonna do it. He just fucking
were-
dropped them.
But these guys were more athletic than anybody would have thought. I mean, but they have to be athletic or they wouldn't be on the card.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel bad for him though.
I don't have a problem with the Beer City Bruiser. I've watched enough of his matches. I've seen him live. We've seen him for years.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
They pay him because he's there, and they know he's going to be there. He's the respectable worker.
He's a reliable
The other
guy.
guy, I have no fucking idea who he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brawler Malones.
But he was the guy who I thought was going to do the moonsault.
He's the guy who actually did the drop.
He was
I
like a
think.
discount Mabel.
Yeah, he was the.
He was the
did
guy who did the senton.
He did the drop.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did his drop.
I didn't take many notes on the match because I just had fun with it. I didn't really watch
You're
it.
just crying. the
Because
whole time.
this was obviously the letdown match after one of those sort of semi-main events. You could tell there was empty seats everywhere.
That's what I feel bad about. Is this was the piss break match? So like you look in the crowd and there's like no one there. When you got the Motor City Machine Guns
That's
in the
the
fucking
only
match.
reason. That's the only reason I'm disappointed because I want you to see the Motor City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks from TNA in 2010.
We'll have to check that out later.
There's also
I don't have it,
matches
he
of them
does.
in Ring of Honor.
So you might have to bring that Bound for Glory.
There's
2010.
also matches of them. in
I'm
Ring
talking
of
about
Honor
the.
together.
I'm talking about that
The
mayhem.
so
in
the-
2010.
I know what you're talking about.
So the Bruisers won and they won.
The
clean.
Bouncers.
I will say
Okay,
this.
one. I want to talk about the fact that they won.
The
Well-
Bouncers beat Luke and PJ Hawks. The Motor
Which-
City Machine Guns were not
It
pinned.
doesn't matter. They technically have a win that involved the Motor City Machine Guns, one of the best tag teams in the last 15 years,
The
who had some of the best matches of Team
and I
3D
will say
ever.
this.
True that.
The one thing I didn't
Including the
like.
retirement match.
I mean, everybody did what they were supposed to do. I mean, it's exactly what the match was supposed to be.
You can't just go from big match, big match, big match.
Yeah, you have to
Especially
have a break for the crowd. If anyone wants to watch if they know the Machine Guns are coming up, they'll stay. If
You
they
know-
don't know they're coming up, they're gonna go take a piss, right?
You know what?
So if you said they came out first, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, if the Machine Guns, I said it when we were watching it. The Machine
Yeah.
Guns came out first, maybe people would have stayed longer. My thing is, and I keep bringing up AEW because they're the most recent pay-per-view that happened.
Yeah.
I'll use Double or Nothing as an example. They put Shawn Spears and Dustin Rhodes
Oh, I know.
before Moxley and Brody and before the Stadium Stampede, which is kind of similar to what this show is. Because they put a kind of a joke match in the middle, or like right before the main events, so that you could calm down from what was before.
Yeah.
Because the match before was something else.
Yeah. I mean, people were ready. Like, hey, look, we got to chill out. We just saw a friggin' fantastic triple threat ladder match, and I'm sorry, not triple threat match.
There was the
six man tag title match.
which was the ladder match.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and like I said, the match was fun for me because I want to see a fat dude do a moonsault, and it almost happened more than once.
Dude,
I was ready for
He
it.
came back too.
I was ready for it, and it comes back later, and I loved it. However, that was a bullshit match. Wait, anyway, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who's listening. But I want to bring up some psychology. I don't know if the Bruisers were bouncers. I'm sorry, not the Bruisers, bouncers.
Bouncers or heels.
He knows what his name is.
So they were heels. Okay.
Anybody who drinks as much as I do, I like. So we're gonna go. With
we don't know about
Bruce.
Luke or PJ Hawks, but the Machine Guns were obviously face. And in my opinion and in my experience, if you're two big dudes and you're heels, you should not be selling as much as they did in that match. They were like taking flat back bumps. I mean, they got back up, which is what you want to do as a heel. You want to be able to feed the comeback to the baby face. And the only way you do that is you take that flat back bump, you get up and do it again. But these guys are like 300 pounds, and both these two tag teams don't even come close to weighing as much as these two big bouncers weigh.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not trying to be funny here.
It's hilarious, Phil, because it's true.
Because like these guys should not have been.
I swear to God, the guys that they pinned weighed as much as one of them.
Correct. So
true.
And
the Motor City Machine Guns maybe only weighed 100 or so more pounds than one of them.
So to me,
especially the bigger guy.
So to me, it was the match was fun, but that was the only thing I was like, these guys don't need to be. Maybe that's why they're not taken seriously, because they just are out there to bump and make people look good.
You'll see more of these dudes. Let's just say that.
I'm gonna make it clear right now.
That's my first opinion. I just don't.
That's your first opinion of them. I have experienced Beer City Bruiser.
Same.
You have experienced Beer City Bruiser.
He walked right by you.
Yeah, he did. But it's weird because
he likes to drink.
Shut up.
He has a keg on him all the time, apparently.
He does.
But it's weird because, like, we've seen it and whatever, but, like, he has a charm. He really does. It's like, but I'm going to bring this up just because I've got a Beer City Bruiser and it doesn't come up. So I'm going to bring it up now. Cheeseburger being micro stunt of ROH.
That will be brought up.
Will it?
We can talk about.
Yeah, they have a match later.
Does he show up later?
Yeah, he shows up during that segment with Bully Ray.
Oh shit! Yeah, that happens before the matches we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
So what did you guys give this triple threat? I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I'm only saying 5 because I had a point because I thought I had fun with it. But other than that,
I enjoyed his points, but I knew those points, so I'm going to go with you too. So I'm 4 out of 10.
I'm going to say 5 because I just made it fun for myself.
I mean, Beer City Bruiser just waited moon. So
yeah, it's like, come on, you can do it. And he, like I said, a senton off the apron. And a couple of sentons in the ring. I was like, oh, come on. If you can
or
do
a tope suicida would have been great.
No, my biggest thing was in the entire match because, like, this is where my knowledge of ROH is not matches.
Yeah.
He brought the show.
Yeah.
He pretty much knows the results. I don't know the results except for the main event.
Fuck, I don't remember results except for the main matches.
The only reason I remember the main event is because I know that he goes on to the next show. But, even the big match we're going to talk about in a minute, I didn't even know the end. I didn't know who won. But my point of this match was just, I was genuinely shocked that Beer City Bruiser and
you were
that they won.
Brian Malone as the bouncer.
I was so convinced that Motor City Machine Guns were going to win.
Just because they're the only named team, right?
It's a name recognition.
Yeah.
Like, especially 2018 name recognition.
But you gotta think about it though. If half or 3/4 of the crowd are in the pisser. Do you want the team with the name recognition to win?
Does it matter which team wins?
You'd want the.
Does it matter which team wins?
Just give it to Luke. Just give it to Luke and PJ. Why not?
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, it's perfectly fine that they won. Like,
it was because they got money.
Like their money was going to be the same. They jokingly say, and they say it in AEW. Oh, well, you win, you get paid more. No.
Well, that's just a good storyline though.
They do it because
AEW, obviously.
And with AEW, it's like sports based, jokingly. Like, we want Stadium Stampede, that's not sports based.
Hell, I've heard that back in the 80s.
But they're like sports based. So the more you win, or you're the champion, you make more money. It's like, that's not in their contract. Yeah.
No,
they make what they make, and they do it because it plays the character, and it makes it more incentivized for you to want to be champion.
True that.
But, like, yeah, so, like, it didn't really matter who won. I was just really shocked that they put him over. And it actually made it better. Because it shocked me, which made me think the match was better. That's why I actually thought it was 3 until they went over. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
True that. But then
so that bumped me just because they won.
Next match is the Ring of Honor Tag Team title match. The Briscoes took on Hiroshi, Tanahashi, and Jay Lethal.
It was nice to see Tanahashi again. The last time I watched Tanahashi was Jericho.
Tanahashi and Jay Lethal made a pretty damn good tag team, actually.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that they looked like a tag team because they're just like, they look like 2 different people. But they fucking brought it in this match. And like the Briscoes are just hard hitters, they're just brawlers. And,
honestly, to be fair,
you had one side was brawlers, Briscoes, and you had 2 guys who were just able to get up in the air and make it exciting. And obviously the heel and the face I love that dynamic. One is the heel, the Briscoes, and one is the face with Lethal and Tanahashi.
I think the Briscoes have the same problem Bullet Club does, though.
What's that?
I think the Briscoes have the same problem Bullet Club does.
That they're
though.
over.
Even if they're heel, they're going to be over.
That's because they're homegrown.
At least with the
talent,
ROH card, they are the most ROH purists. They
Since they were
rejected
both-
every contract from every company ever.
But the same with Ibushi is that Ibushi just looks like he's over. Same thing with Lethal and Tanahashi. They look like baby faces. So Briscoes look like guys like you wouldn't want to look at in the street the wrong way.
The problem I have with, and we've talked about this.
That they look homeless?
No. Mark looks homeless.
Yes.
Jay just looks like if he cleaned up his act a little bit, he'd be okay.
Jay looks like
who?
he'd fucking beat
Jay
your
looks
ass.
like if he cleaned himself up a little bit, he'd be fine.
It looks like who?
Don't. Just do it.
How you doing?
Just fucking say what you're going to say. Because you said it the entire time.
Enzo Mark, and like he looks like Enzo a little bit. He reminded me of him. He works better than Enzo, but hey, look.
Fuck, that dude works way harder than Enzo. Like if he hit
Enzo got knocked out by a fucking
ring rope. Jay Briscoe's never had that issue.
I'm just saying.
Briscoe's been a multiple-time world champion.
I'm just saying.
Enzo can't even be a world champion in his rap career.
Mark,
hey, well, no one. He shouldn't.
I'm going to say an unpopular opinion to anybody who watches this far into the podcast. Mark made his career off Jay.
Oh, most definitely.
I'm just saying, man, you can't. You're how many time tag team champions with Jay, but Jay went on to be world champion.
Jay also.
And they've had matches.
Jay is a two-time world champion.
What are they now? Like 11-time ROH champions?
I think it's 12.
God damn.
Yeah, he's held 12 championships in the
Because Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe both been around since 2002. On the very first Ring of Honor show, Mark Briscoe couldn't wrestle because he was only 17.
Like, I don't have a... Like, I like the team. I'm glad that they're purists and ROH treats them like such, and they...
ROH treats them like fucking kings.
Yeah, they treat them, they pay them the way they should so they can keep them there because, like, WWE offering them money. Like, I'm sure AEW went after them at some point.
So they've been a draw pretty much 10 plus years.
Well, they've been ROH's...
Together, anyway.
They've been ROH's tag team.
Well, the thing is Jay, though, he can go off and do his own thing.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to bring in a tag team, like the Young Bucks, they did this. You want to bring in the Young Bucks, you want to bring in the Hardys, you want to bring in these big tag teams, like, who are they going to put up against? Briscoes.
You test them against the Briscoes, because, like we'll see
that's
later
ROH's
on.
Team.
Like we'll see later on in this franchise series, whatever you want to call it.
Whenever we review more of these,
we've got shit where
ROH
like I
shows.
got them against War Machine, I've got them against the Bucks, I got them against the Addiction, I got them against the Machine
teams,
Guns,
WWE teams, AEW teams. Like,
I got them against the Decade, I got them against Michael Elgin and Roderick Strong, I got them against the Kingdom, I got them against
you got them against Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, I got them against everybody.
And Red Dragon being the tag team of the Undisputed Era.
So like I didn't write any notes because I was actually enjoying watching the match. So I don't know specific spots off the top of my head. But I will say this though, that I think the match pretty much did what it was supposed to do. Two teams. And obviously the psychology was heel and face. I like it. And both it went back and forth. It didn't feel like there was any spots that were overused or exaggerated or I think both teams sold. I love that. And the Briscoes won. So fair to them.
Okay, so
The
one
Briscoes
with the
did
Doomsday
win.
device too.
I did say, like, it sounds like what I said about the Briscoe, or at least Mark, was bad, which is not what I'm saying. They are a very exceptional tag team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have never not been entertained by a Briscoes tag team.
Briscoe's tag team matches are really good. It's just Mark just doesn't have the look of a wrestler. Like if you saw Mark walking in the street, you wouldn't go, "Hey, that guy's a wrestler." You'd be like, "Who the fuck's this homeless dude doing over here?"
But like even that, he's not that different than Jay.
Jay Briscoe, though, like you said, you clean him up a little bit. That dude looks like he's gonna beat your ass.
They both look like they can beat your ass. This one doesn't look.
Jay looks fucking intimidating. Like Jay's got that permanent "I fucking hate you" look.
Yeah.
Mark just looks like he needs to get his dental work.
Any particular spots you guys remember? Because I didn't write anything down.
The Doomsday thing.
Well, the Doomsday device. There was the part with the figure 4 where Tanahashi comes in and gives him an elbow. The Froggy Bowl, which you guys don't like the name of that, which I understand.
That was just weird. Yeah.
Oh, I do know.
The name is bad. The spot was good.
And I like Lethal with his. He still does his references to Macho Man.
He was wearing the fucking pink attire with the yellow boots from WrestleMania 3.
Like I said, Jay Lethal is ROH's draw right now.
He's ROH's king.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
He has no intent to go anywhere, and he's their top guy.
So he can take room at the top of the card if need be. He could take up he could be in the mid card if need be.
As well as he should, because Jay Lethal is fucking great.
And Albert, you're gonna find this out watching more Ring of Honor matches. This is one of the reasons why I like that company so much. Is any show you pick, you can see someone that was in the main event of the last show be in the very first match of the next show.
I was gonna say something before you got here. Had you not got here when you did, during the triple threat match from Unbreakable with Styles, Daniels, and Joe, which is fucking fantastic.
Yep.
I was going to jump to when Steen took the title from Lethal.
Great match too.
Because that would have been a match you would have wanted to see. Because that would have shown more of what Lethal's star power was at the time that.
Well, he saw this match now, so he's got a little bit of a
this
taste.
Show is showing the world championship match when he spit
into Lethal's face.
Yeah, when they did that whole bit, the whole story between Lethal and Steen when that all went down was.
Because Steen is a fucking great heel, and Lethal's a great face, and obviously the match is gonna be freaking fantastic.
Well, then,
so I have to catch that down the line.
Even during fucking Lethal's run, he went heel, and his heel run was pretty great too.
Good faces make great heels, and vice versa. It's just
debatable. Randy Orton never made a good heel.
Face, you mean?
Well, face. Yeah.
But then
I love Randy Orton.
Briscoes won.
Heel.
This match, I would give it a nice 8 out of 10. It was pretty good.
I would say 7. It wasn't as exciting as the other two matches, so I'm going this third on the list so far.
To me, it was a standard.
Yeah.
It was a standard Briscoes match, so I didn't really feel that way about it either.
Well, it didn't seem like they were trying to steal the show, let's put it that way.
Well, stealing the show, I'm pretty sure is the next match on the card.
No. Totally. Well, let's do it, boys.
The whole reason we watch the show is because I chose this for this match alone.
We had a last man standing match for the ROH TV
not
title.
This one.
No, not
the next one.
King versus Silas Young.
Oh, this is the one you hated.
Yeah.
God, Albert, let's review this one, man. What did you like about it?
Yeah, how great was the match? I opened my mouth a little too soon.
Okay, so I watched the story of this match, and I was digging Silas Young playing the heel and Kenny King playing I'm gonna freaking get you. And you know what? We gotta fight. In fact, I'm gonna talk about the booking of this compared to the ROH.
This is the other one you
match.
had a problem with.
I gotta bring that up because I feel they got this matches mixed up.
I keep waiting for that one to come up.
So Kenny King is obviously the face. He's the TV champion. And he just wants to fight this guy. They've already had their issues. Silas Young is playing a great heel. He's
At least in theory, if you're having a last man standing match, you should be fucking having this.
I'll definitely get to that because that's a bone of contention to me. Kenny King was like, we're gonna fight in a last man standing match. We gotta end this, or we gotta actually have the fight. We gotta settle this. Silas Young didn't go, oh no. What do you mean? And they get forced to do it. No, he said, yeah, F that. We're gonna fight. No problem. They get to the match, and the first thing I think of. What is that?
That's the ROH World Championship.
The old one.
No, this is the new one.
Oh, that's the new one? Shit, yeah.
That's a sexy belt.
I'm trying to show Albert just all the belts, what they look like.
I think the only world title I don't like is the current Impact World Championship that Tessa has.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the old TNA World Championship that Moose has.
Okay, so I wrote down the banana in the pocket. Because that was the only thing I remember as being the highlight of this fucking match.
And that's Austin Aries that had a banana in his pocket.
And that was before the match started.
Aries came out with the Impact title and...
He had 5 belts. I don't know what they were.
Two
Impact
of them,
titles.
two of them were TNA titles.
Those are the current Ring of Honor tag team belts.
God, they go all out with those titles.
I like the old one.
Okay, so... I wrote the words "fuck this BS" bullshit because match was horrible.
This makes me laugh.
Well, because I hope I remember it all, because you guys are going to fill in the blanks for that match. But anyway, so...
That's the belt they were fighting over, the television championship.
ROH's titles are great.
They did not do that belt any credit.
Show them the old Pure Championship.
Okay, so...
Because that's the only picture you're going to find right now.
All right, so these guys say they want to have a last man standing match, which means what they're going to fight. Right? There's not going to be any wrestling. There was wrestling at the beginning, and they had an introduction. Why in a blood fight? Wait. Why in a blood fight do you have introductions? This goes back to the Ring of Honor women's title match. They didn't get an introduction.
They wanted to have an introduction, but they wouldn't let it happen.
Okay, but yeah. So I don't know if it was booking or what. But I'm assuming it's booking. So why is it that for the first ever Ring of Honor women's title match, they had no introduction of the title belt, They didn't introduce the competitors, but in this match, with these two guys ready to fight,
6-man takes.
these guys are ready to fight, and they got introductions like it's supposed to be some kind of main event, and then proceed to chain wrestle. Come on,
I'm not against.
That's not right.
I'm not against anything you just said.
No.
And my examples for why I'm not against anything you just said come from ROH. Come from something I showed you already.
Okay.
Which was Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn or El Generico's ladder war. I told you 2 months beforehand they had a last man standing match.
Yeah.
The La Revancha.
La Revancha. We did not watch that, but the point is...
One day you will.
Nah, I own it. It's right there. The point is, where do you go from last man standing match? The fucking shit show of a great match we watched between Steen and Generico in the ladder war. How do you have this last man standing match is not a last man standing match from what I know ROH does for last man standing matches.
Yeah.
That's why I have a problem.
Okay,
with
well
this
then that's obviously your insight. Because
match. You didn't see the match, but you
I
saw the
didn't.
match that happened after the last man standing match. And
Yeah.
if that match happened after the last man standing match, you can only imagine what the last man standing match was. And then you look at this last man standing match.
And you're just like,
It's gonna go down.
You're just like, eh.
Just because they went from a last man standing match to that ladder war.
Yeah.
It
Well,
could
well,
just be-
I'm not looking at it from that perspective. But I didn't
That's
see
the way
that.
I looked at it because
But-
it
so-
didn't feel like a last man standing match that I've seen. Considering I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels from Royal Rumble 4 is one of the best last man standing matches I've ever seen. This is not a last man standing.
Ciampa and Gargano.
Not compared.
Ciampa and Gargano
That kills
was
it
great
too. And so the only reason this match is even anywhere close, it's like a 0.1 over zeros because the fucking Beer City Bruiser made an appearance and helped with the finish,
He came
which
back.
which by the way was dumb, and they messed that finish up. So,
Oh, God.
So they had Kenny King on the ring. You couldn't see his feet because the Beer City Bruiser put zip ties on him.
Yep.
Oh,
And,
also,
and he counted to 10. I didn't even see the referee counting.
well, that's another reason why I'm not happy about it because it's not a true ending to a last.
And then, but then later he's doing this. He's actually standing up like this.
Like he
What are
could
you
have been
doing?
up the whole time.
What are you doing? You just killed your finish.
Yeah, that was
It was
retarded.
dumb.
Sell the finish, stay on the ground.
So what do
Sell
you?
the finish, stay on the
I
ground.
pretty much
That's-
ranted,
that's
and I
mine.
think I made. That's my point. I
So,
can't say anything else.
what would you rate that, Albert?
0.1, only because the Beer
Worst
City
match
Bruiser
of the
came
night?
down. Worst match of the night.
See, I gave it a little bit more of a credit, so I liked some of the Kenny King stuff, so I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I am going to lean on Albert's side, mainly because I think when you say last man standing match, I hate cop-outs.
Oh, trust me, I hate the cop-out
I
finish,
hate
too.
cop-outs so much in a match like this that ending, being that he didn't truly lose because of the last man,
Austin Aries had a banana in his pocket.
I don't care. Austin Aries being there maybe makes it a 0.2, but also Austin Aries is a prick.
Yeah, and his appearance was useless.
Austin Aries is a prick. I love the guy as a wrestler, but the more and more stories I hear about the fucking guy, he's a prick.
Silas Young winning the TV title is
Silas Young himself is
So my first impression of him, like I said, was the story led up seemed pretty damn good to me. Seemed straightforward. They need to settle their differences.
So I will say this.
Titles on the line, and then the match was like,
Okay.
get the fuck out of here.
So I'll use this. So this is your first experience with Silas Young. It's not what you would expect. What you originally said about Silas Young before this match is exactly what he is. This match is maybe not the best first impression.
No, it's not.
Like, if what you just said is what would make you like the guy, then you probably would like the guy. I don't like the guy.
If
in
you
general.
watch other matches, you would like him.
I'll give him another chance, no problem.
Like I said,
He's
I
he's
don't
like a Randy
particularly like
Orton.
him,
It
but
depends on his opponent.
Randy Orton himself. This depends how much he cares.
But hey, guys,
Before we go to the next match.
Let me transition to the next match.
So
it's not
so
that one yet.
Oh my
so
God, we're still not there.
another word about the finish, and then we can move to the next match. I don't know if we're running out of time, but like.
Oh, we're not running out of time. I'm gonna have great internet. I can upload a fucking 2-hour video in
Cool.
fucking 3
So
minutes.
so Kenny King his feet are under the ring.
I'm
You
not
can't
worried
see
about
them.
time anymore.
And the Bear City Bruiser is doing the same with the zip ties, and that causes them to lose because Kenny King can't stand up. Okay.
It's a last man standing.
Now, if Silas had done that, I would feel better about it. because he did it himself. Remember, Batista and John Cena had a last man standing match, and Cena tied up Batista in the ring rope, so he couldn't stand up because you can't see.
No, he duct taped his legs together.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it was.
He choked out Umaga.
I mean,
That too.
I mean, whatever it was. But Cena did it himself.
Yes.
I would have given it a 2 if it. Not much better, but I would give because I think that the match was supposed to be a fight and it wasn't. I would have given it a 2, but that didn't happen. So it's a 0.1.
Can I tell you?
Bruce is beast. I love him.
All right, before we move on
So
to the Bully Ray comment that you're about to bring up,
And no
because
moonsault.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's next. Okay, so now I know exactly where we are. Okay, I keep thinking we're somewhere we're not. But I want to bring up a random fact because you brought up last man standing matches.
All right.
This is still a podcast review, whatever. The only match I ever liked Alberto Del Rio was John Cena's last man standing match.
I don't think I saw that.
That was actually not bad.
That was the one where the ring was already broken.
Yes.
Mark Henry and Big Show
Broke the ring
broke
in
the
the match
ring,
before.
and they did the last man standing match with the broken ring.
Was it a superplex?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the Brock Lesnar Big Show spot from fucking 2004.
Yeah, I remember that.
Three,
The whole
whatever.
SmackDown, I saw that.
Yeah, like that was great when it
That's
happened.
awesome.
I hate that they did it again, but they did that spot, and it's fine. That
And
ended
then
the
they
double
had a
count.
match after.
And then they had John Cena and Alberto.
Well, you
Del
don't need a
Rio's-
ring for last man standing, so
No,
whatever.
they did the last man standing match. Like that's the only Alberto Del Rio match I ever liked, and that's
True.
all I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Just because you brought up last man standing matches.
Then Dylan's favorite match on the card: Cheeseburger and Bully Ray versus the Dogs.
I didn't say shit.
Well, match, quote unquote.
The Dogs, I guess,
There's a segment.
won.
It was Bully Ray being a dick.
Nobody
That's what it
won.
was. Nobody technically won.
Nobody won. I mean,
Bully Ray turned on Cheeseburger, and the match ended.
And then he started yelling at
and the
everybody.
match ended.
And okay, so I don't get the point of that whole segment.
But at least I can make my point.
Pretty
that-
much that segment removed Bully Ray as an authoritative figure on the show.
Did he start wrestling afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, I didn't know that.
That's the only thing that really it did.
All that segment did is make me pull out my inner Jim Cornette and say that Cheeseburger is the Marco stunted growth of ROH.
It also proved that
even though I
Flip Gordon
think-
was on the show again.
Yeah, he showed
Yeah.
up 3 times. In this
He had
fucking
3
show.
different bits in this
This
whole
is
show.
the second time he shows up. He shows up later.
Because that's when Bully Ray goes on his generational rant.
But I could say this.
May God help us all with that.
I could say this. As much as I said I made the joke about being the Jim Cornette joke about Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger's far better than Marco Stunt is.
Everyone.
I wish I would have seen it. I was
feel-
looking forward to seeing what a guy named Cheeseburger can do in the ring.
And
You know?
not much. He basically
You'll
gets his,
see it.
he basically gets his shit kicked in every time he gets in the
So
ring.
he's like Mikey Whipwreck of 2018.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Just like Stunt is the same thing.
But alright, folks, I
Alright,
give
that-
that 0 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was a
it-
nice segment. I'm not even
I
gonna
didn't
grade
even
it.
hear a bell ring.
I'm not even
There's
gonna
a
grade it.
bell.
I'm gonna give it 2 out of 10 because Flip showed up.
I'm gonna give it incomplete because I don't think it really. Other
Dude,
than
Flip showed up. You gotta get something.
okay, 1 out of 10 just because it got Bully Ray as a wrestler and Flip Gordon showed up. Okay.
I'll give it 0 out of 10 just because I wasn't impressed. Now the one where
The-
Legend creams
this-
his pants.
All right, this is where I'm gonna introduce this just because I'm gonna introduce it the way they did. I'm gonna introduce it because this is where Albert stopped taking notes and just started enjoying the fucking show as a fan. And he's
Yeah.
putting his notebook away because this is where we start talking just to talk. The American Nightmare minus the hideous fucking tattoo that takes away a star
He
in
removed
every
it before the
single
match.
match.
We know this. We talked about that. He removed it.
I'm just saying, every single
2 years ago, he removed it.
Every single Cody match I watch where he doesn't have that stupid fucking tattoo on his neck is instantly a star better.
We love you, Cody.
Damn.
He can,
That's the point.
he can have a 10 out of 10 match. It's 9 out of 10. Just
Now
for
it's
that fucking
11
tattoo.
without the tattoo. Awesome.
I'm saying, if he gets the 10 out of 10 match, then it must be over the top match of the year and 11 out of 10, because I will not say 10 out of 10 for a Cody match because of that stupid tattoo.
Right.
With that said, the American Nightmare Cody takes on the cleaner Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Now, this I
Alright,
want to
boys.
see if we have any disagreements on how this match is or what we think. The finish I don't particularly like, but overall, this match is fucking.
Legend, what'd you rate it?
Oh, this is my match of the night.
What'd you rate it out of
If-
10?
I said I took away a star for the fucking.
He doesn't have the tattoo.
He doesn't have the tattoo, so I'll give it a 9.5.
Albert, what would you rate it?
Maybe I've had like too much to drink. How did the match finish again?
It's with the Young Bucks fucking super kicking Cody.
Okay, I don't like the
Super kicking Kenny.
Cody wins.
I felt it was a match that wasn't the end of anything. Obviously, they're propelling a storyline down the line.
The problem is it never went anywhere.
Well, you should have said that. Now I'm gonna put it
I'm
even
pretty
lower.
sure they didn't have a match again.
Okay, well,
They did in Japan.
okay,
In Japan, but that's a whole other thing.
putting that aside, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't like I thought both of the guys are freaking badass. Like all those guys, both guys did their moves. They're exactly who they are. I like their freaking entrances. I love the streamers in this match. There were streamers all over the place, and you guys.
Like I said, they like both, and they're both Bullet Club.
Right. I don't like the heel versus heel, but who cares? Or actually, in this case, face versus face, depending how you look at it.
And
I'm missing some of that dynamic with this show. I have to say that because like I prefer to see a distinct heel versus a distinct face. And it's very hard to do it with the Bullet Club being a show, or I'm sorry, with the company. We're talking about that as well. Would ROH be better? This is a rhetorical question. Would ROH be better from a character standpoint if Bullet Club was no longer in the company? You can answer that.
Absolutely not.
Well, yeah, because they have no stars. Yeah, probably because they have no stars, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's cool. I understand that. Is there any way they could have booked any of this without Cody and Kenny fighting each other?
The whole point of this was to get
I'm asking
Cody.
you that.
So, to be fair, the whole feud actually started off in Japan. It started off as Cody lost the match, and Kenny was pissed. So, the Bucks and Cody and Kenny were doing the elite thing, and they started branching off, where one Buck was with Cody, the other Buck was with Kenny.
Okay.
And they were trying to pretty much split the Bullet Club and try to pick out who a de facto leader was.
Yeah, this is how Kenny kind of got his.
So pretty much, Kenny was trying to defend his leadership of the Bullet Club. Cody was trying to gain it. In the end, Cody doesn't gain leadership. He's like a Ring of Honor leader of it, kind of like Adam Cole played that part as well.
It's kind of like Cody took the Ring of Honor side, Kenny took the New Japan side.
Exactly. So like this match was based
Mainly because
on...
Kenny was based from New Japan.
Yeah.
It was based on that. It was based on hey, who's better, who's going to be the de facto leader of it fully. Which it never got answered
It's
here
also,
in America.
And this particular match kind of reminded me of the fact that, like, and it's the same issue Kenny Omega has in AEW right now. He never got fully over in the US. And the character he's portraying now isn't going to get fully over in the US.
Twinkle Toes make finger bang? That won't get over? Come on.
The one that Cornette says. Fucking. But, like, if he did the cleaner, the
cleaner would get over.
Best bout machine. He's talked about it. He knows, like, they're just trying not to oversaturate the EVP market of it, is basically the point.
Yeah, I got a feeling like
he will come out, and when that fucking shit goes down, people will realize.
And women will orgasm.
I got a feeling that like if whether he's portrayed as the cleaner or the best bout machine, he can find a way to get over.
The best bout machine will go over.
I don't know, like American fans.
I say the only reason I'd say the best bout machine would go over better than the cleaner, because the cleaner was the heel.
I feel like the cleaner would go over better.
It's a heel.
I feel like it would anyway.
If he actually turned and played the character, like they almost did it with Mox, but he didn't.
Well, in this match, they were like, to me, I just remember how stiff it was. I don't have any particular spots that I remember off the top of my head that were amazing. I just thought it was a good pace bout. Like I said, we were 37 minutes in and we didn't even know it.
Well, like I said, the match ended at 37 minutes.
Or so we're like 20 minutes and we didn't even know it or whatever it was.
I looked at the time, it was 30.
Yeah, and I was really.
It ended 7 minutes later. Like when we talked about it, it was 30 minutes in.
So to me, that right there knew the match was fucking outstanding.
Yeah, that's why it's my match of the night, because it went and we didn't really think about the time. We just watched it happen. I can say this: it wasn't. It was and it wasn't. And I use this because of the way Cody's booked his AEW matches. It was not overly produced.
As you thought it was going to be.
In the way that Cody matches have been.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
If you go through how Cody matches have been in AEW, other than even the Dustin match with the excessive blood, but everything after the Dustin match, if it's a big match, it's like spears, overly produced. Arm comes out, spine buster spear, shit like that.
Okay.
And Archer, they had Tyson, and all that shit for Double or Nothing. Like every Cody met MJF, that was super overproduced when you got to it. Like,
a lot of interference.
Yeah, like outside shit.
The difference with this one versus like regular actual overbooking is that the Bucks were supposed to be there.
The Bucks were always going to be there. And that's why I don't have a problem with the way the match ended.
And now that you gave me some context on what they were doing beforehand,
Yeah.
it makes that match 9 out of 10 tied with Paige and Ibushi.
I gave it a 9.5.
And before
The only reason I gave it because I really like Omega.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. 9 out of 5. Or was it 9.5?
9.5, yeah.
Jesus.
I just really fucking
I
like
love
Omega.
the fact that Bernard got his head kicked in, and someone in the crowd had his head on.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was outstanding.
That was pretty
I
sick.
just okay, so I'll say this. I agree with him because I gave 9 to.
I like the Paige Ibushi match. I thought it was great.
It was.
Oh, it's fantastic. But I have to say, because of the characters in this match and knowing where Cody came from, watching him in WWE was dreadfully bad. Stardust was horrible.
Yeah.
But only he can play that, and
That's why I liked it though, because
he's so good.
This is why I think us as wrestling fans get along, because we see, no matter how bad the character is, we can see the person playing the character trying their fucking best.
Yep.
And Cody tried. You can't say he admits it too.
It's like when Moxley said that he was given a pile of shit, but he'll make that pile of shit look as best as he can.
He didn't want to make the jokes about fucking Roman Reigns' leukemia that they fucking wrote into the script.
Oh, I know. That was terrible.
And I'm glad he left for it. But
Yeah.
I agree.
My other favorite spot in the match was when Brandy took the bump.
When Brandy took the V trigger through
when
the
Brandy
table.
takes any bumps,
It's outstanding. Good
it's
for her.
great. Especially the way she landed.
I know that was.
In a weird way, but
I mean,
And
good-
we saw Flip.
and Flip showed up.
Oh God.
And took her
Flip.
away.
Oh God.
Flip is the extra 0.5.
What did you do in that match again?
He just showed up.
Flip Gordon just literally took Brandy
He showed up
to
to
the
take.
back.
He showed up to take Brandy to the back. That's
Does that,
all.
does that lead to anything, or is that just him?
That led to him attempting to
What side did he go on?
seduce Flip's girl. That led. Flip was trying to seduce Brandy to get himself booked onto All In.
Oh yeah, because this was 2 months before All In.
Good for him.
Which
And at that point in time,
I
like that. That's really cool.
I'm gonna say this on the podcast just because I said it when we were watching the show because I asked about it and I know it's what happened. I really, no offense to how much I like AEW and how that worked out and the way they talk about how that came to be. I feel really bad for ROH.
Oh yeah, because they lost all that talent all at once.
Not even that, they funded All In.
Oh, that's right. You said
They
that before.
did.
They funded All In, not knowing that from the stories I heard, All Elite was already in the works. Tony Khan was already involved to make it happen. So he could have easily have funded All In, from what I know.
He definitely could have.
And they took ROH's money anyways, which is
Yeah.
why I have an issue with it.
But Road to Omega was.
Which
stiff.
is why
Yeah.
you'll never see All In on DVD.
No.
Yeah, pretty much.
ROH refuses to release it. It's the only ROH produced thing that they have not released on DVD.
So just that one All In, not the rest of them going
The
forward.
actual All In, because everything else is All Elite.
Because
But
everything else
In-
will be all out.
Yeah,
They're not going to be all in, and
like,
they can't be
everything.
called that.
can't.
Everything.
It's trademarked, I guess,
everything
yeah.
AEW did after All In, like when they announced that they were a thing, Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, all that. That's AEW. But All In itself was funded by ROH.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they'll never release that because
They're pissed.
they're it's the
I would
only.
be.
I'm
It's a dick
guarantee
move.
you,
It's a dick
it's
move.
the only thing.
It's a
that-
dick move for them to take the money, and it's also a dick move for them not to release it. But
I
I
get
get why they won't release it, because fucking Cody and the Bucks fucked them over too.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same reason why New Japan's so pissed because the Bucks and Omega just fucking left them dry too, and Cody for that matter.
Yeah. So Omega and Cody, great selling. They were stiff. I don't think they mess up. If they mess up anything, I
Snapdragons, plenty.
B trigger aplenty.
Snapdragon on
They
the
hit
fucking
all
apron.
the moves that both of them are known for.
And it was a great finish. I'm not like the story now.
The
So
particular crossroads that Cody does hit
Great.
is actually fantastic. I have had And this comes back to Cody and WWE.
Vertebraker.
Oh, the
Oh, the
Vertebraker.
Vertebraker, yeah.
See, that's like we talked about it when it happened. It's a move that isn't actually painful,
No, if you do it right, you
but
just,
it looks fantastic.
it does.
And this is like why another reason why I think we are great with talking about wrestling the way we do, because we know what it is. We know the move should hurt, but we know why it doesn't. Like we know, like we have the inner work and the outer work of why these matches work.
True that.
I mean, that's kind of why wrestling doesn't work for fan bases now, and that's why the viewership is the way it is. It's
Jim
not the
Cornette.
It's not the 5 million, and that's why Jim Cornette's so pissed. But it's not the 5 million people watching Raw, not the 5 million people watching WCW, Nitro, and all that, because like people started to understand why it works, and that's fair. But it's entertaining as fuck.
I can't. Like, I may not watch every single Raw or SmackDown or AEW
I can't
or
watch
NXT.
Raw or SmackDown, but I watch every all. Watch all.
I haven't watched many of the.
Well, that's a lie. I
think
don't watch Dark anymore.
I haven't watched many shows in the past, like ever since.
I download them.
Ever since quarantine, I haven't watched any wrestling shows. I've been like reading the highlights, watching some of the highlights. If we can just talk about the crowds or lack thereof.
Yeah, the last
very-
crowds is really hurting.
It's very difficult for me to watch them because, like, take Drew McIntyre. His finishing maneuver relies on the crowd to count to 3 with him, and then he kicks your face in. And to me, it's I mean, there's 4 ingredients in the match. There's the 2 wrestlers, there's the ref, and then there's the crowd.
Correct.
And there's you got 3 out of 4, and it's not enough. The crowd is what feeds the energy to the wrestlers, and they keep on going. If it's a good match, you're going to feel friggin' pumped, and the match is going to be great. Now, these guys are friggin' doing what they can do with what they got, and I respect that. But it's not the wrestling I'm upset about. It's not even the storylines. They're going to be good, bad,
And I have a
good,
point to
bad.
work with this. So.
And there's some good ones and some bad ones. Like the Jeff Hardy thing is but I like how...
Okay, so the Jeff Hardy thing...
No, wait. But
I do have a point, that Jeff Hardy thing.
Okay. But, like, I like where Rollins is going. I like where Bailey is going. I like Drew McIntyre all together. But, like, I haven't been able to watch any shows. And I hope it's not a detriment in anybody's eyes because I just haven't been able to watch. I just have not been motivated to do it.
I don't disagree because, like I said, I read the reviews.
No fans is really hard on us.
I read the reviews of Raw and SmackDown, and it bothers me that it took them this long to steal AEW's idea of putting people in the crowd.
Yeah.
But also, with the stealing people putting in the crowd, I think WWE's fucked up. Because when AEW puts people in the crowd, they don't have the fucking producers in their ear. They're reacting purely based off of what they want to do.
What's WWE in a nutshell?
I'm saying, like, the AEW people, I'm pretty sure...
They don't have earbuds.
They have, like, I watched Tony Khan, Unrestricted. Tony Khan did an hour talking about how they produced their shows for the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he talks about how after the first week, there's like, let's have a heel and a face side. So one side of the ring is heel workers, and the other side is face side.
Good, I like that.
They don't have mics in their ear with producers.
They're reacting to what they see.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Which is better.
I feel, from what I've seen from the clips I've watched of WWE since they've been doing it, that every one of those people, even though they're there, is still reacting to somebody telling them how to react to something.
I don't think they're mic'd up.
I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying somebody's doing
something.
It feels different.
Well, let's just say this. To me,
and again, coming from me, I'm the biggest AEW mark.
It makes no sense for me trying to watch highlights of Raw when you can clearly tell there are NXT people in the crowd that are heels that are chanting for the face people on Raw.
That's part of the reason I have a problem. That's a part of the reason why I have a problem with the way they're doing it. Like I said,
heels cheering faces, etc.
AEW for months. The moment this started, that's what I'm saying. The moment this started, and this is why I'm glad. Like I said, I don't worry about how long this is going to go, and I want it to be an actual podcast, not just a review. So we're into a section where we're going to get back to Cody and Omega. Because I do want to. The point I'm getting at about this is, like, you can watch those highlights, like Bobby Lashley and McIntyre and Raw. And like you said, you're going to see somebody who would hate McIntyre just because he's the face.
Cheering him.
Yeah, cheering the guy. It's like, that's why I feel like it's different. Like I said, AEW has 2 sides. These people are always going to boo for the fucking people that are face. These people are gonna fucking cheer for the people that face.
Pineapple Pete.
They're gonna, Pineapple Pete's gonna fucking hate Jericho. It's gonna happen, even though he took one Judas effect and went down like a box of rocks. But like they have it set up, and he talks about it on his thing. It's like it's not about it. It's not about anything. It's just having something. Like imagine any of these shows. Like
Yeah.
I've enjoyed Dynamite better having that dynamic.
The biggest reason I brought it up is combined with what I haven't watched, not to mention this matches we did watch.
And Raw and SmackDown only started doing like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But we were watching those matches with TNA and Ring of Honor, and the crowds were freaking fantastic.
Especially TNA's crowds. That was fucking ridiculous.
Oh, these crowds be so nice with like Raw.
I said especially TNA, but
be so nice.
Like I bring up especially the TNA matches I showed you, but the problem is the TNA matches I showed you were going to get that response because they are.
It's okay.
The three I showed you were the 3 best matches, like 3 of the best matches they've had.
I agree.
Especially as early as they were, like being that early on in the company to have Styles, Joe, and Daniels, and Joe and Angle, and Joe and Angle. We didn't even watch the Joe and Angle that he thinks is the best Joe and Angle match, which is the Iron Man match.
Well, and you also got to think too, like the early days of TNA, they also actually had a working relationship with Ring of Honor.
Well, like I said,
until Ring of Honor fucked it up.
This Joe DVD I have over here, I have singles matches between Joe and Silas, Joe and Daniels from 2006. That's TNA days, and they're having those matches.
By the way, we will not be reporting on what fucked up their relationship, but let's just say it was very terrible.
But overall, just a trend.
TNA, actually, I give them credit for pulling out of the deal.
I want to say, transitioning back, because we went off, I don't think there's anything else we want to say about that.
No.
Transitioning back to Kenny and Cody.
Great match.
Yeah.
Great story.
It was a great story.
Cody won.
My point going back to it is, like I said, it's a great match. In the way AEW's written their story, and the way AEW's written Cody and Kenny currently, I don't particularly see it happening again anytime soon.
No.
It will fucking happen. Because, of course, Cody and Kenny will be a selling marquee match.
Well, the reason
for some double or nothing.
The reason you build a faction is to break it up. So it's going to happen in one form or another. Not necessarily Kenny and Cody, but perhaps Hangman and Cody.
Well, right now it's Hangman and Kenny.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hangman and Kenny, sorry.
Hangman and Kenny's going to break. That's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Whenever they lose the titles, it's going to be because one turns.
True.
I think it's going to be Kenny. And the only reason I think it's going to be Kenny is because they've already teased multiple times that it's going to be Hangman.
Well, we talked about this earlier, because if Kenny turns and he somehow gets the title, Hangman wants revenge on him, and it's always good to have a babyface chasing the belt. I'm good with that.
Well, the point is, I think Kenny will be over more as a heel than he'll ever be as a face. Hangman's already over.
And that make Hangman even better if Kenny gets over as a heel. So.
But it's the same thing I said earlier. We're going back. We're talking about all of the Elite now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this on this cast, fucking an hour and a half in, so nobody's gonna listen to it. But I'm gonna say this now.
Thanks for listening.
I said it to you earlier. Cody turning the first night, fans are there.
That'd be great.
He's still TNT champion. Has this match in fucking turns. Cause I watched this match with Jungle Boy. That guy was fucking aggressive.
Being a heel.
He was basically heel the entire fucking match. How fucking aggressive he was. If they put fans in that arena and their big baby face, who was the biggest baby face before this whole thing happened, fucking shit can somebody.
He'll make people boo him.
Oh, fuck it. I would love it. Like, it would be a great way.
All right.
But we got to move on to the main event.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, we already talked. We did the ratings for Cody and Kenny.
Yeah, I did. I said 9.
Oh, 9.5.
9.5.
Like I said, no tattoo. If you had a tattoo, it would be less than what you rated it.
We had the ROH World Title match, Dalton Castle versus Marty Scurll.
And this was my first time seeing Marty Scurll and Dalton Castle, so I had no idea what to expect.
This is my second time seeing Dalton Castle. I knew Marty's work, so I was
not your second time seeing him.
I was not a problem with Marty, but the only other time I saw Dalton was when he took the title off of Cody. So.
You saw him in person, too.
Yeah, we don't talk about that because I don't remember. I wasn't even drunk, I just don't remember.
I know you weren't drunk.
I didn't drink at the show because they didn't sell alcohol at the show.
I gave that match an 8.5.
Yeah, I give an 8.
I'm going 7.5, and I got a I thought the entrances were great.
Helping not knowing people doesn't really help either.
I thought it was a regular standard match, right?
Yeah, it was a regular match. No disqualifications or anything.
There was a few things that like just kept me distracted. Those boys are distracting.
Yeah,
I didn't care much for them. I thought they were useless, other than being like someone for two guys to get beat up or provide interference.
Late
like,
in the match, yeah.
I don't like Dalton Castle's character. I'm sorry.
I don't think you emphasize his character enough. Is what you think.
And what I mean is that during the match, if he's effeminate, coming out like with the fabulous style and the outrageous behavior, like his entrance, portrayed him as, he should do that during the match as well. And he didn't do it at all. He was looking like he wanted to kill somebody instead of like trying to get into Skrull's
head. Yeah, Marty Skrull.
Instead of starting to get Marty Skrull's head by trying to like do what Goldust would do. I'm not saying fill him up, but he only did it once in the match. That was towards the end.
Well, he did it one other time too when he was trying to reverse something. He did the whole Iconics kind of look.
Oh, yeah, the Iconics thing when he went for the chicken wing. Yeah. Like, Iconic.
I didn't.
His hands.
So like it was hard for me to tell like what he was trying to show in the ring. I don't know if he's a good champ or not. It's the first time I've seen him. Skrull,
I know his reign was good.
I'm still up in the air with him too. I'm not sure what he's trying to tell me. So I'm only giving match a 7, and I'm not saying it's because he didn't work hard. It's just because
he's trying to tell you he's a plague doctor, man.
Well,
you'll get
let's see a plague then. How about that?
What'd you think about the powder spot?
You have to remind me what that was.
That was when he
grabbed
the
bag of powder and
Dalton threw it in his face.
Dalton kicked it into his face, and then he ended up attempting to break the referee's finger, and then the ref counted 1, and then fucking went, "Ow!"
That was actually a pretty decent spot.
You were pretty pissed when it happened, though.
It was decent, but I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Like, okay, you kicked the powder, but the referee should be disqualifying him. Ding, 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 over.
To be fair,
he's the one who grabbed the powder and it got reversed on him.
I get what he's saying because
matters not. You touch the referee.
He's not saying he should be disqualified for what happened. He should be disqualified for touching the ref.
Yeah.
But it's the same issue I have with AEW referees. So.
But that's just like just a small booking error or production error, whatever you want to call it.
This is before Marty was in charge.
Both of those guys sold like bosses and they bumped like bosses, and I thought it was. But I don't think the match was great because because I don't know about these characters really, really well. I don't think Dalton did a really good job of this character at all in the ring, in the match.
Really nice bang at the end, though.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, like, I'm not saying the whole match was. I don't say the match was terrible.
I do remember.
Maybe I just don't get it yet.
I think I do remember you saying that you didn't think that was going to be the finish when you hit the move.
I didn't either. I thought we had more time.
Only because I don't think you didn't know that was his finisher.
Yeah,
I knew it was his finisher, and it was the second time he hit it in the match, so I assumed it was over.
I understand where you're coming from with that.
So I'm giving it a 7. Maybe later down the line I can update it to an 8 or whatever. Maybe if I understand it better. But for now, I give it a 7.
Hey, I get it.
We got podcasts to update.
I completely understand. You had a different rating than I do. So I've got a few potentials for next round. We should probably meet again within the next week or so.
I'm sorry. What were your ratings for that match?
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
I wouldn't go there. I give it an 8 just because I like Marty. Marty's good.
But here's the deal. So we got a few shows that I'm gonna give us an option to choose. One of them is a series of shows.
I think we should end the podcast before we talk about the next show.
Well, we could actually talk about it on the podcast.
I mean,
that won't hurt anything.
We're gonna end up committing to something. That's all we're getting at.
That's all. So pretty much the first thing I have that's up on my screen right now is the Survival of the Fittest 2017. It's a series of 3 shows, so we'd have to divide it.
I want to bring up something because you brought up Bound for Glory, so it reminded me of fucking A Bound for Glory. He talked about the worst thing he ever heard TNA ever did.
Okay.
And I want you to explain it to him in a way that makes sense, so it doesn't make it sound as bad as it is.
What?
The reverse battle royal.
Oh, it is as bad as it is.
Okay.
It's literally everyone is outside of the ring.
I know how bad it is.
You fight to get into the ring.
I know how it works.
And then you fight to get out of the ring again, and once it's 2 people, they pin each other.
I knew how bad it was. I was hoping maybe you, of all people, would be able to explain it in a way that made it not seem so dumb.
Oh, no. I literally can't.
Yeah, because like I watched that match. because I had to, because I saw it through OSW, I saw it through the review of that pay-per-view or
It's
whatever.
fucking terrible.
And so I had to watch it. You literally had guys standing out there like with no one to fight or no one to hit. They're standing there like, get in the ring, you idiot.
Oh yeah, no, they're. Yeah,
But also,
I can't defend that whatsoever.
Also,
good. I'd lose respect for you if you could.
So now, speaking of TNA matches that I can't explain properly because I made it sound dumb, explain King of the Mountain to him that makes sense.
Okay, King of the Mountain. You have 5 superstars.
5 or 6, depending on.
There's only been 5. They've never had a 6th one.
I thought they did.
No.
Okay.
So pretty much what you have to do is at the very beginning of the match, the belt is in possession of the timekeeper,
Okay.
and the only way you can potentially grab the belt is if you pin or make someone submit.
Gotcha. So you pin, like, so I pin.
If you pin Legend here,
Yeah.
you have a chance to grab the belt. But what you have to do is you have to grab a ladder, and you have to actually physically hang it. So it's like a reverse ladder match at
And
that
I have
point.
to go in a cage. For
Oh.
He has to sit in a penalty box for 2 minutes.
Okay, so I pin him.
He sits in a
I go
penalty
get the belt.
box.
I gotta get a ladder and hang the belt up.
Yep.
And then somebody else can get me and pin me.
Because there's 3
Yeah,
other people in
so
the
so you can only grab the belt unless you're in the penalty box, obviously, and you need to have a pinfall or a submission victory over someone to be qualified, quote unquote, to grab the belt.
Oh my god.
See, that's kind of how I explained
It's
it.
convoluted, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it actually semi works.
Yeah,
What's the watch one just so I get a feel for it?
It does
It's
work.
a rather weird
It-
concept.
I
I
have-
probably look it up on YouTube or something.
It does work depending on the one you watch. Some of them are dumb. But let's see what you're
Anyways, Survival of the Fittest 2017. Like I said, we'd have to split that up into a couple days 'cause it's a 3-day show.
They turned Survival for this in 3 days?
But here's the deal. So
I know it
there's
was 2 days. Like
two
most
of
years.
the matches on the first, 3 of the matches in the first show here are qualifying matches to get you in the 6-man battle royal, which gives you a world title shot. First match is Silas Young versus Josh the Good Woods,
I don't know who he is.
MMA star.
Don't
Then
care.
we've got Shane Taylor, big beefy boy,
Shane Taylor's the black guy that was
versus
commentating.
Beer City Bruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be your favorite guy in our
Blue Salt.
I guarantee you.
Then we've got-
just waiting for the time he does
Then
that.
we've got
So.
Punishment Damien Martinez versus Jay Lethal.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
We have a 6-man tag team title match. Motor City Machine Guns and Jonathan Gresham, aka Search and Destroy, versus the Kingdom.
Jonathan Gresham being the guy from the first match from this
Yeah,
show.
Octopus.
Deanna
Yeah.
Purrazzo versus Britt Baker.
I have
Wow.
not seen a Britt Baker match that wasn't AEW. So.
We got Espine and Ray
And Deanna
Cometa.
Piazza
Who?
just got released by NXT.
Espine and Ray Cometa versus the Dogs.
I had
So
no idea
2
there.
Mexican stars. ROH TV title match: Kenny King versus Joey Ryan.
Dick flip
Dalton
Interesting.
Castle versus Marty Skrull.
again.
Is it for the title?
No,
Before the title, okay.
this is before the title.
This is 2017.
We've got SCU and Flip Gordon versus Bullet Club and Stephen Amell.
Minus Stephen Amell, that seems fine.
Day,
I mean, I heard Stephen Amell's not bad, but
day
just-
number 2. The
just-
first 3 matches are qualifying matches again. First one is Vinny Marseglia of the Kingdom versus Jonathan Gresham. Second match, TK Orion of the Kingdom versus Flip.
Flip,
Hmm.
book flip.
Match 3, Matt Taven of the Kingdom versus Cheeseburger.
Matt Taven wins.
And we know Cheeseburger doesn't win, so.
No,
No
never
DQ
wins.
match, Karen Q versus Deanna Purrazzo.
Peraza with 2 matches, okay.
She just signed with Impact.
Next match, Fatal 4-Way match for the ROH Tag Team titles. Motor City Machine Guns versus Ray Cometa and Espine versus the Dogs versus Silas Young and Beer City Bruiser.
Did they just fight each other?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking something else. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Beer
Jo-
City Bruiser did have a match on the
Then we
previous
got
night, but it
Josh the
wasn't-
Good Woods versus Marty Skrull. ROH TV title match, Kenny King versus Scorpio Sky.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Jay Lethal and Dalton Castle versus the Bucks. And this one is actually for him. Texas Death Match for the ROH World Title, Cody Rhodes versus Christopher Daniels.
Okay, yeah.
Then the last night of Survival of the Fittest, Josh the Good Woods versus Jay Lethal.
Kind of tells you some results from the previous
Gregory
show, though.
James versus Cheeseburger. Marty Skrull versus Rhett Titus.
That means Cheeseburger won a match.
Kukataro versus Joey Ryan. Cody Rhodes versus Beer City Bruiser.
Oh, come on.
I want to
Come
see it
on.
now. I want to see it now.
Oh, come on.
Deanna Purrazzo versus Madison Rain.
I want to fucking see Cody
Oh,
Rhodes versus
dude.
Beer City Bruiser.
Dalton Castle versus Christopher Daniels. The Young Bucks versus the Kingdom, and then the Survival of the Fittest six-man battle royal. That's one option. Option number 2 is Money in the Bank 2010.
God, fucking WWE.
We got Money in the Bank ladder match, Big Show versus Christian.
I forgot
versus
2010.
Cody Rhodes versus Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston versus Matt Hardy versus Kane.
So what you're telling me is you want me to review a bunch
my
of people that
God.
are going to be a lot better in a lot of years after this.
God, damn, except for fucking Matt Hardy, they're all still there. Oh, Kane, they're all still there.
Divas title match.
I'm
Alicia
saying like
Fox
when you,
versus Eve.
Oh wait, well, let's go back to that. I want to go back to the Money in the Bank. I'm saying you want, if we choose this, you want us to review a ladder match that involves Kofi Kingston before he got to the top, Cody Rhodes before he got to the top,
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler before whatever the fuck happened to
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre before he got to the top,
three-
Matt
before
Hardy
3MB.
before he got to the top.
That's pre-3MB, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like Matt Hardy before he got to the top, because Matt Hardy actually did win championships when he left WWE.
Yes, he did.
We got
Kane's Kane.
We got
That's actually interesting. I don't remember that match.
we got the unified tag team
I
title
think I know who
match,
wins.
Hart Dynasty versus the Usos.
The Hart Dynasty was a thing. That's Tyson Kidd and fucking.
DH Smith.
Yeah.
World
We were talking about that earlier about how Tyson Kidd had to retire.
World heavyweight title match, Rey Mysterio versus Jack Swagger.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where somebody cashes in afterwards?
We don't know.
Yeah. I'll just say that.
That's
Yeah.
all I remember. I don't remember who wins the match, but I remember
Women's title match,
fucking Kane wins.
Layla versus Kelly
Fucking
Kelly.
hell.
Say it again.
Layla versus Kelly Kelly for the
I
women's
remember who
title.
wins the Money in the Bank now because of what I just said.
Money in the Bank ladder match, Ted DiBiase
I like Ted DiBiase.
versus Randy Orton versus Mark Henry versus John Morrison versus Chris Jericho versus Edge versus Miz.
Is the one
This is
Orton
the other
wins?
ladder match, right?
Is
Yeah.
that the one Orton wins?
Steel
I have
cage
no
match
idea.
for the
Orton
WWE
wins
title.
the Money in the Bank, right?
Steel cage match for the WWE title, Sheamus versus John Cena.
I don't remember that match at all.
Another card that we have is Best in the World 2017.
You know we're not going to pick a WWE card, right?
I know this, which has Tempura Boys and Cheeseburger
Well, I'm hungry.
versus Coast to Coast and Flip Gordon.
Who the fuck is Coast to Coast?
They're okay.
Who the fuck is Coast?
Sumi Sakai
No.
and,
She's not on that
and
team.
Chris Wolf. Chris Wolf, actually, legend here, I think is pretty sexy, not gonna lie. Versus Mandy Leon and Deonna Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo shows up a lot.
El Terrible and
Terrible.
Ultimo Guerrero versus the Kingdom.
Ultimate.
Up to replay.
A strap match, Adam Page versus Frankie Kazarian.
This is 2017.
Yeah.
So this is before the one that we already.
So we've got the Rebellion, which is Caprice Coleman, Shane Taylor, Rhett Titus, and Kenny King versus Motor City Machine Guns and Jay White and Jonathan Gresham.
I'm not gonna. Well, at least Jonathan Gresham's in. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Jay Lethal versus Silas Young. Six-man tag team title match. The Briscoes and Bully Ray versus Dalton Castle and the Boys.
Somehow these cards are so much worse than the one we just did.
ROH
Boys.
TV title match. Kushida versus Marty Scurll.
Kushida.
That's gonna be good.
Triple threat tag team match with ROH tag team titles. Young Bucks versus War Machine versus Best Friends.
That could be good.
ROH World Title match, Christopher Daniels versus Cody Rhodes.
Well,
Then we got Slammiversary from 2019.
why 2019? Out of all the Slammiversaries,
Fatal 4-way match, TJP versus Trey Miguel versus Jake Chris versus Willie
you remember
Mack.
TJP, don't you?
TJ Perkins.
Wasn't he a cruiserweight?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
in 205.
Triple
He
threat,
actually won the first cruiserweight tournament.
triple threat match for the TNA tag team titles. The North versus LAX versus the Rascals.
LAX as in the AEW LAX.
Yes.
I had to explain that to him earlier about
First
the
blood
original
match.
LAX.
Homicide Hernandez.
First
Yeah.
blood match, Eddie Edwards versus Killer Cross.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Rob,
yeah, I
Van
agree.
Rob Van Dam versus Moose.
Fuck Moose.
Monsters Ball match for the Knockouts title. Taya Valkyrie versus Jessica Havoc versus Sue Young versus Rosemary.
I have a problem because it's a female match.
Interesting.
I like Monsters Ball matches, but
X Division title match. Rich Swann versus Johnny Impact.
Oh, which Swan?
and Johnny
You
Mundo,
can't
Johnny
handle
Nitro,
this. You can't handle this.
and it's Johnny Nitro.
Impact
Interesting.
World title match. Brian Cage versus Michael Elgin.
I don't like Michael Elgin,
And Sammy Callahan versus Tessa Blanchard.
which is one of the ones you brought.
And last-
I may be voting for that one off top.
You just want to see Tessa Blanchard.
I want to see what it looks like for women to win a freaking Singles title.
And then here's the
I'm not
last.
disagreeing.
Here's the last show. It's Hard to Kill 2020. Madman Fulton versus Ken Shamrock.
What
It's a TNA show.
TNA show? Okay.
X Division title
Impact
match.
show.
Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel. Triple threat match for the Knockouts title. Taya Valkyrie versus Jordan Grace versus ODB.
Jordy Grace.
Brian Cage versus Rob Van Dam.
Oh, good lord.
Rob
That'd
Van
be
Dam
okay.
versus Daga.
That means Rob Van Dam wins the other match.
Eddie Edwards versus Michael
I hope.
Elgin. No DQ match. Moose versus Rhino.
You just really hate hearing Rhino's name in matches, don't you?
Damn right.
Handicap
Cool.
match for the TNA Tag Team titles. The North versus Willie Mack. And Impact World title match. Sami Callihan versus Tess Blanchard.
They wrestled twice?
Which one does
They've
he...
wrestled twice.
I said, which one does he win the title? Is it this show or the other show?
Well, Hard to Kill is the one where she goes for the title. The other one is where she just faces Callahan.
Which one does he win the title?
The one that she goes for the title.
So the last one.
Yes.
Okay, so the other one.
I want.
I agree with
Yeah.
the one where she wins the
I
title.
want to see what the crowd does. I'm really interested.
So, you guys pick that over the rest?
Oh no.
Versus Cheeseburger and Beer City Bruiser?
Dude, I
I mean, like-
don't need to see Beer City Bruiser versus Cody. I want to, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not going to go with the WWE one.
we're definitely not going to WWE.
I never said we had to go for WWE, so WWE's out the picture.
I
Alright.
do appreciate. I do want to see Tessa Blanchard. I want to see what they did, and why people thought it was a good idea.
Yeah,
Because people did. They
So is
did
that the one you guys are picking?
the one that Tessa wins the title.
Yeah, I want to see what that looks like.
Alright.
I don't care about the rest of the show, but I'll review it
Alright, boys, let's meet up again sometime this
sometime.